What's going on, everybody? Will Murphy here with Iron Will Fitness. Today I want to talk to you about building muscle and how it is quality over quantity when it comes to your food, your exercise, and your sleep. Let's start with food. With food, it's quality over quantity. Like, if you're trying to gain size, of course, the saying is if you want to get big, you have to eat big. But let's think about eating big, but also having quality. Because if you're just going and you're having all the junk food that you want to have and things like that, you're going to find yourself putting on a lot of excess fat, which is not what you want. You want to build muscle. You want it to be, lean and full, and you want it to look good. You're definitely not wanting to just go and eat McDonald's every day and get no nutrients in. And even if you're doing that, like, there's a good chance that you're calling yourself a hard gainer if you're going and you're having a bunch of junk food and things like that, because you're not giving your body any real nutrients. You're not giving it anything to use to build muscle. You're just going and you're getting food that doesn't really biodegrade and things like that, and it's full of sodium and saturated fat and all these things that your body just absolutely doesn't need all the time. I don't dislike saturated fat. I think saturated fat in meat is perfectly fine. I definitely have a lot of saturated fat in my diet because I eat steak all the time. But the point is, like, going to fast food restaurants and things like that. And I know you've probably seen the videos about the McDonald's hamburgers and things like that, and how they don't really biodegrade. You can leave them sitting on the counter for a year and they're not going to change at all. Even the bread doesn't mold. So think about the fact that your body can't break that down and use it for anything except just to hold you over to your next meal. It just makes you feel a little bit full to your next meal. But if you're having more actual meat that you're cooking at the house and things like that, more green vegetables, and they're really especially green vegetables with fiber, they're going to make you feel full a lot faster. But you're definitely wanting to get in your more nutrient dense foods, your foods that are going to provide you with the nutrients that your muscles need to actually take in to help them grow. And you got to have your healthy fats. Those help you digest your micronutrients, like your B vitamins, the C vitamins, and all that stuff that your body's going to need in order to also help with muscle production and even keeping you lean. So and you also don't want to get super fat. You want to stay relatively lean so that your muscle shows and looks full. So you want to stick to quality foods. Make sure that you have protein in your diet. Make sure that you have a carbohydrate in your diet. I know a lot of people are adverse to carbs, but carbs provide the body with energy. Just stay away from the junk carbs. Try to have your natural carb sources. Try to have sweet potato and beans. Try to have rice if you can handle it. If you don't mind the little bit of bloating you get from it. And definitely have your fruits and vegetables as far as carbs go. Stay away from processed sugar, but have natural sugar, things like that. Stay away from, processed, things in a box, and go more for, things that don't come in a box. Make your own banana chips or something. There's many options that you can go through that you don't have to, settle for going to the store and buying something in a box, and it ends up being a lot worse than you thought it was in the first place. And then make sure that you have your healthy fats. Now, mostly I would say stick to your fats from your meats in your diet. But if you're vegetarian, you can't necessarily do that. You can have protein. They make vegan protein if you're completely vegan. If you're vegetarian and you take in dairy, you can have whey protein and things like that. And as far as your fats goes, you can have avocados and nuts and things like that. Olives also are a good source of dietary fat to help with your hormone production and things like that, so that you can build more muscle and recover from your workouts. And speaking of recovering from your workouts, you're going to need sleep. And I'm horrible about sleeping. They say you should turn off your TV. I don't do that. I like to watch TV while I sleep, and I feel like that's just something I'm not willing to change. That's like a lot of people say they're not willing to change butter in their diet or whatever. I'm not perfect. I'm just like you. There are things about my life that I don't really want to change, and I'm willing to accept the consequences of that as far as what it does to my physique. I'm pretty happy where I am, and going forward, I may try and see how I feel, but I seriously doubt I'll shut off the TV every single night before bed. Also maybe put down your electronics. Make sure that all your LED lights in your bedroom are covered up, things like that, so that you're not affected while you're sleeping. Your sleep quality will go up. Maybe even consider going to the mattress store and looking for a new bed. If your bed is more than 7 to 10 years old, you might need a new bed. You might have worn out the springs, and or just for whatever reason they say you should replace your mattress anyways, and you probably should, because it's probably affecting the comfort level while you sleep. Now, not necessarily go out and change your mattress, but I'm just saying that's a suggestion that you could possibly look into that if it's an issue for you. And you want to turn off most of your electronics about an hour before bed and things like that. These are things that I've heard, that I've watched videos on, and so don't take me at my exact word for them, because I don't know a lot about sleep research. I could probably find somebody that I know that does, but I'm not the one. I just know I need to sleep 6 to 8 hours a night to recover. Moving on to your workouts. Your workouts definitely need to have quality over quantity. You can work out really hard, or you can work out for a really long time, but you can't do both. Like Jeff Cavalier from Athlete X says, and he's telling the truth. You cannot spend 3 hours in the gym and be actually putting in the work. Like you're half-assing it like nobody's business if you're spending 3 hours in the gym at a time, or you're there multiple times a day. You're half-assing those workouts. There's no way that you're going and putting in every bit of effort you've got into putting in a workout in an hour, and you're 3 hours, spending 3 hours at a time in the gym. There's no way you're putting everything you've got into those workouts. You're stopping, you're talking, you're bullshitting on your cell phone, you're doing all kinds of things that you probably shouldn't be doing. When you need to be focusing on your exercises, you need to be focusing on the quality of your reps, you need to be focusing on the tempo of your exercises, you need to be focusing on your rest in between sets of an exercise. You should be resting for 30 seconds to a minute in between sets. You should be resting for 90 seconds to 2 minutes in between exercises. And then you should just be going and going and going. You should be able to knock out an entire 6 exercise, 3 set per exercise workout plus cardio in about an hour, okay? There's no reason in the world you should be in the gym for 3 hours trying to get 6 exercises done. And there's no reason you should have more than 6 to 10 exercises in your workout at all. Like, take some out, save them for down the road on next month's plan or whatever. Just don't try to do every single exercise. It's not about quantity, it's about the quality of the reps and sets, and it's about the quality of the intensity that you're putting into the gym. It's about the quality of your form that you're putting into each exercise, the quality of the range of motion that you're doing. So make sure you're using full range of motion. Make sure that you're keeping your workout relatively intense, especially if you're not wanting to gain any fat. And make sure that you're getting in and you're getting out. You're doing all the work, but you're not just going through the motions, because you don't want to half-ass it and you don't want to overdo it. So really pay attention to your gym time, pay attention to your diet, and pay attention to your sleep. These are all 3 things that are going to help you see muscle gain in the future. Follow me on Instagram at IronWillPT. I'm on Facebook at Iron Will Fitness Training. I'm on the internet at ironwillfitnesstraining.com, and I'm on YouTube at Iron Will Fitness. Go over there to see my videos regarding this video, plus the workouts that I'm going to be doing here shortly. In just a few minutes, I'm going to be doing workouts and filming those so that you have your tutorial for each of your different exercise programs. And if you go over, wherever you go, I want you to hit like, I want you to hit subscribe, I want you to follow, do whatever you can. Let me know that you're seeing these things and that you're really enjoying them, that they're helping you out, that it's making a difference and helping you with your fitness journey. All I need is a like. You don't have to say anything, and just shoot me a like so that I know that people are watching and responding and enjoying the material that I'm putting out for them, and it's really helping them to move forward in their fitness journey. Anyhow, we'll holler at you tomorrow. I'll have workouts up later. For our beginner overweight obese program today, we'll be starting off with the leg extension. Make sure that you have the machine set up so that your knees are directly across from the pivot point, and that the ankle pad sets on top of your feet below your shins. To begin this movement, sit down in the seat with your feet behind the ankle pad, select the weight that you like to use, and begin by straightening your legs up to the top, squeezing your quads for just a second, and then lowering the weight back down to the bottom slowly with control. Repeat these steps for reps, and let's do 3 sets of 10 reps. Our next exercise will be the seated leg curl. Again, you want to make sure that the machine is set up correctly with your knees directly across from the pivot point. and the ankle pad set up so that it sets on the back of your ankles, above your feet and below your calves. To begin this exercise, sit down in the seat, place the knee pad down on top of your knees snugly, and your feet on top of the ankle pad. Select the weight that you'd like to use and begin by curling the weight down underneath your butt, squeezing your hamstrings for just a second, and then returning back to the top of the movement slowly with control, and repeating these steps for reps. You'll have 3 sets of 10 reps for this exercise. Moving on, we have the machine chest press. To do this exercise, make sure that the seat is set where your feet are flat on the floor. The back of the seat is upright, and you've selected the weight that you'd like to use. Sit down in the seat and retract your shoulder blades up against the seat. Put your hands on the handles with your elbows directly behind your wrists. And begin by pressing forward and squeezing your chest when your arms are fully extended, and then returning slowly with control to the back of the movement. Repeat these steps for reps, and you'll have 3 sets of 10 reps for this exercise. Don't forget to keep your shoulder blades pinched behind you the entire time. Our final weightlifting exercise is going to be the machine seated row. To do this exercise, find a machine seated row and then select the weight that you'd like to use. Sit down on the seat and grab the handles, place your feet on the feet platforms, and begin by straightening your back to an upright position. And then you're going to retract your shoulder blades with the handles in your hands and pull your elbows as far back behind you as you can. Squeeze in for just a second as if you're trying to bring your elbows together and touch them behind your back. And then returning slowly with control to the front of the movement, making sure to let your shoulder blades spread apart and your back stretch at the front of the movement. You have 3 sets of 10 reps for this exercise. Don't forget to make sure you go for a walk before you leave the gym, whether you walk on the treadmill or around the track. You could also, if you choose, go swimming, or you could, maybe try out the elliptical or something. We've reached a position where, we're far enough in that you should be able to do something other than walk. So if you'd like to do any other cardio machines, you're more than welcome to. If you'd like to stick with walking, just make sure that you get 25 minutes in to burn up those extra calories. I hope you have a great day and a great workout, and we'll see you tomorrow. Starting off our beginner exercise program today, we have the Goblet Squat. To do this exercise, grab a dumbbell and hold it against your chest so that it's in the position of a goblet. Have your feet about hip to shoulder width apart, and begin initiating the squat by pushing your butt slightly back and bringing yourself down, trying to keep your knees over your feet the entire time without crossing your toes, and your back as straight as possible throughout the movement. Once you've reached the bottom, you want to reverse the movement and bring yourself back up to the top, and squeeze your glutes and quads when you're there. Repeat these steps for reps, and we'll have 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps for this exercise. Our next exercise is going to be the Dumbbell Romanian Deadlift. To do this movement, you'll need a dumbbell in each hand, and you'll have to be standing up straight with your arms hanging in front of you slightly, and make sure that they're just hanging. Remember that your arms should be hanging from your shoulders, and your hands are just hooks to hold the weight. They're not there to actually do any lifting of the weight. To begin the movement from the upright position, you want to lean forward and push your butt back, hinging at the hips and keeping your back as straight as possible, and lean all the way down until your shoulders are about in line with your butt. Once you've reached the bottom, engage the hamstrings and glutes and squeeze and stand all the way back up, making sure to squeeze at the top of the movement, and then repeat these steps for reps. Make sure that you keep your back straight throughout the entire movement, and we're going to have 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps for this exercise. Our next movement is going to be the leg extension. Make sure that your knees are directly across from the pivot point when seated in the seat.
in that the ankle pad is setting above your feet but below your shins when you sit down in the seat. Select the weight that you'd like to use and begin the movement by straightening your legs up to the top, squeezing your quads for just a second, and then returning slowly with control back to the start of the movement. Repeat these steps for reps, and you'll have 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps for this exercise. Our next hamstring exercise is going to be the seated leg curl. To begin this movement, make sure that your knees are directly across the pivot point when seated in the seat, and that the ankle pad is set above your feet but below your calf muscles. Lower the knee pad down on top of your knees so that your knees are held down snugly. Select the weight that you'd like to use and begin this movement by curling your feet underneath your butt, squeezing your hamstrings for just a second once at the bottom of the movement, and then returning slowly with control to the top of the movement. Repeat these steps for reps, and you have 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps for this exercise. Our next exercise is going to be the glute kickback. You can do this either at a cable tower or on a machine like this. First, place the ankle strap around one ankle and place the other foot by the edge of a platform, or just make sure that when you swing your foot back you don't graze the floor. To begin this movement, have your foot in the ankle strap and then bring that leg straight back as far as you can up, and squeeze your glutes at the top of the movement. Return slowly with control and repeat these steps for reps on that leg, and then switch legs and repeat these steps for reps again. You'll have 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps per leg. For our last exercise for our legs, we're going to be doing the standing calf raise. I'd like for you to try it on the stairs if you'd like, if you have stairs at your gym. If not, all you need is a platform, and you're going to do 4 sets of 15 to 20 reps. If you're using stairs like this right here, what I want you to do is I want you to complete your first set of 15 reps, step up a stair, and see if you can do it immediately after. If you can't, that's okay. Maybe lift each foot a couple of times to get feeling back into your calves, because it's going to be pretty rough. And then begin your movement. If you have to stop and let your calves rest just for a second, that's perfectly fine, but you're just letting them rest long enough to recover a little bit, and then you're hopping right back to it. You want to do 15 reps per stair, 15 to 20 reps per stair, and walk your way up. You just have to climb 4 stairs. That equals 4 sets. And don't forget, once you've finished your leg workout, you still have to go and do cardio. You can do any cardio machine. You can run around the track. You can go to the park and run. You can go to the park and ride your bike. You can go for a swim, or any number of activities, as long as you get your heart rate up and burn some calories for you. You got 25 minutes of any kind of cardio that you want to do, and we'll see you tomorrow. I hope you have a great day. Our first exercise for our intermediate program today is going to be the Barbell Front Squat. If you just absolutely can't hold a barbell like this, you're more than welcome to do like a heavy Goblet Squat. But for this purpose, I'm going to explain the Barbell Front Squat. For the Barbell Front Squat, you may need to take a grip like I'm taking here, where you've got your elbows high, you got your bar sitting across your shoulders, and your fingertips holding the bar in place. This may not be easy to do for everyone, so there is another variation in which you can cross your arms over each other, laying your arms on your chest, and your hands holding the bar up. As long as you keep your elbows up, you should be fine, and it shouldn't roll forward. To begin this movement, once you've got it in place, you've stepped out from the rack, you're going to push your butt slightly back with your feet in the about hip to shoulder width position, making sure to stay on your heels as much as possible throughout the movement, and set down. The best description I can give you is like you're sitting on a toilet. Lower yourself down so that the top of your legs are parallel to the floor, and then reverse the movement and stand back up, squeezing your quads and glutes. until you've reached the top and your body is completely upright. Repeat these steps for reps, and we'll have 4 sets of 6 to 10 reps for this exercise. Next up, we have the Barbell Glute Bridge. This movement is essential for helping with this lockout on the squat and deadlift, so definitely consider adding it to your routine regularly. To do this movement, you'll need a barbell, and you'll need probably some bumper plates if you're going to lay flat on the floor so that you can get underneath the bar. And you'll lay flat on the floor and have the bar over your hips, pushing the bar into your upper thighs so it doesn't push into your hip bones. That hurts. And you'll begin by squeezing your glutes and straightening your body as much as you can, trying to come up to the top and slightly hyperextend, squeezing the glutes for just a second at the top, and then return slowly with control back to the bottom of the movement. Repeat these steps for reps, and we'll have 4 sets of 6 to 10 reps for this exercise. Our next exercise is going to be the glute ham raise. Make sure that you have this machine set up so that your feet are on the platforms and firmly in between the ankle pads so you're held in place, and so that your thighs can comfortably roll over the top of the rounded pads at the front. Begin by putting your feet on the platforms and getting up on top of the machine, making sure that you're secure with your feet and ankles, and that your knees are on the knee pad in front of the rounded pads. Begin by straightening your legs and keeping your entire body straight until your body is completely parallel to the floor, and then squeeze through your hamstrings and glutes and bring yourself back to the top of the movement. If you need help with this exercise, you can use a piece of PVC pipe or any dowel that you might have at your gym, and you'll set it out in front of you and do the movement the same, but you'll have your hand on the dowel, and that will help you take tension out of your hamstrings as you lift yourself back up out of this movement. It makes it pretty much easy enough for beginners to do. Let's do 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps for this exercise. Moving on, we have the leg extension. Make sure that the machine is set upright with the pivot point directly across from your knees. Make sure that the ankle pad sets on top of your ankles, above your feet, and below your shins. Sit down in the machine with your feet behind the feet pad, select the weight that you'd like to use, and begin by straightening your legs up to the top of the movement, squeezing your quads for just a second, and then lowering with control back to the bottom of the movement. Repeat these steps for reps, and we'll have 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps. Next up, we have the Barbell Good Morning. Place a barbell on your shoulders and begin this movement by hinging at the hips while keeping a straight back, lowering your shoulders all the way down until they are even with the butt, until your torso is parallel with the floor, and then squeeze through your hamstrings and glutes to bring yourself back to the top of the movement. Once all the way upright, repeat the steps for reps, and you'll have 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps for this exercise. I cannot stress to you enough how important it is that you keep a straight back throughout this movement, so really focus on having a straight back the entire time. For our next exercise, we're going to be working our inner thighs and trying to round out our thigh muscles more with the Adductor Machine. To begin this movement, make sure the arms are set up where you want them so that your legs are completely spread. Get in the machine, put your knees behind the knee pads, select the weight that you like to use, and begin by bringing your legs together and squeezing once you reach the middle part of the rep where your legs are together, and then slowly with control, let your legs spread back to the outside. Repeat these steps for reps, and we'll have 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps for this exercise. Next up, we're going to work the outside of our thighs and a little bit of glutes with the Abductor Machine. To begin this movement, sit down in the machine with your knees up against the knee pads and the arms of the machine all the way in so that your knees are together. Select the weight that you'd like to use and begin by spreading your legs apart and holding the weight out and squeezing for just a second while the weight's all the way out to either side as far as you can go. And then slowly with control return to the middle of the movement where your knees are close together. Repeat these steps for reps, and we'll have 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps for this exercise. Next up we have the standing calf raise. To begin this movement, make sure you have a platform to stand your feet on. Lower your heels below the platform to stretch the calves, and then raise the heels up all the way until you're on your tiptoes, squeezing the calves at the top of the movement, and then returning with control back to the bottom of the movement with your heels underneath the platform. I'm doing this on stairs, and each stair counts as a set. I'm doing 15 to 20 reps per stair, and then immediately after I get done, I step up to the next stair and try to do the next 15 to 20 reps. If I can't make it all the way through, I rest my legs for just a second and then get right back to it as quick as possible. You'll have 5 sets of 15 to 20 reps for your standing calf raise. You can do it like this or on a machine or anywhere you like. Don't forget that before your workout is completely over, you have 25 minutes of cardio. Your cardio can be on any cardio machine. You can go and box. You can take up an activity. As long as it gets your heart rate up, you can pretty much do anything you want for cardio. Making sure you burn those extra calories at the end of your workout so that you're burning the maximum amount of calories for the day. I hope you have a great workout. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.